Hi, I'm Sanjay Manjumna. I'm a plastic surgery consultant from Yorkshire in the United Kingdom. And for this video in our suturing series on medicine in a nutshell, we're going to take you through how to do a deep dermal suture. Right, so we're going to do a deep dermal suture on this one because the dermis is the strongest part of the skin. And if you were to do just a simple interrupted or any other thing like that, you will find that you're going to put too much tension on this and you're going to get those nasty suture marks, or you may cheese wire through. You don't want to close a wound under tension, so you've got to get rid of the tension by putting the tension under the skin or deep to the epidermis. So an inverted deep dermal suture is a very good suture, and it is the mirror image, if you will, of a simple interrupted. So remember, for a simple interrupted, we went through the epidermis, went through the dermis, and so superficial to deep. Then we went from dermis into the epidermis and tied the knot on the surface, like this one here. The deep dermal, as I said, is inverted and a mirror image. So what we do is we start in the depths. So we start in the dermis, but don't go through the epidermis. So you take a nice bite of the dermis. Nice little chunky bite. And if you ever go through the epidermis, you've got to redo it. So you can see this is not gone through the epidermis. You take your stitch out, or your needle out, I apologize. Reload the needle, and then you go opposite, essentially where you went. So you see, I'm not grabbing it, I'm just using this to turn it over so I can see. Then you go in the superficial bit of the dermis, and you come out in the depths. And that's not taken on the epidermis, so we can then just pull that through. So just to go through, you start in the deep, come to the superficial, superficial to deep, which is the opposite of what we're doing for a simple interrupted. And then you can drop your dissecting forceps, and you want to tie this knot. Remember the tying of the knot, you tighten it. And I like to go 2 in one direction. Now, because you're in the depths here, if you pull it like that, you're not going to have the leverage to be able to tighten it. So go parallel to the wound, and you just rock it into position, and there you go. That makes it nice and tight. So we went, the first two was in the anti-clockwise, so the next one loop in clockwise, and again nice and tight, and first direction again, one loop. So 2 loops in, or 2 throws in one direction, one in the opposite direction, and the third one in the first direction. Now then you got to cut this stitch so that the ends aren't sticking out. So what I do is you just hold it gently and let it stick out, and you cut it. If you cut it too short, it'll unravel. If you cut it too long, it'll be a problem. So we cut it now, and you can see still sticking out a bit because you've pulled the knot upside down. So then you take the 2 ends, and then you tuck it back in, and there you go. It's disappeared. So you're going to put another stitch in just to demonstrate. So I'm using this as a little hook, and you take a nice deep bite of the dermis like that. There you go. So you're going from deep of the dermis coming out superficially. There you go. Making sure there's no epidermis involved. Reload your needle, and then take that, and if you put it vertically, it makes it easier. Then go superficial part of the dermis, and you're coming out in the depths, like just at the level of the fat. Can you see that? There you go. Now we use the curve of the needle to push that through. Now when you're taking this needle out, try not to hold it at the tip. There you go. And here we've got it. It's important that these 2 suture ends are at the same side. What you don't want is, let me just demonstrate this, is to have a situation where you have that. So you have the suture limbs being on either side of the central bit. So it's important that you keep that in the middle. and the same side. So you pull it through a bit, there you go. And now I do my inverted deep dermal by 2 throws in anti-clockwise. You hold the end and you will tie it. Let's get a nice piece there, that's it. Remember, keep it parallel because you're in a valley there. Nice and snug, and that's it. One in the opposite direction, that's lovely. And one in the first direction, which is anti-clockwise. Just slip there, let's do that again. Good. Let's move that out of the way. And then you get your suture cutting scissors and you cut them just long enough, 2 to 3 millimeters, and you get rid of your needle safely. Take a non-tooth forceps and take the ends of your, and then you tuck it in, and then it disappears. And there, see, it's taken away the tension. Now you can put some simple interrupted or whatever you're putting on top there.